Happy Thursday. It is my pleasure to introduce amazing members of the Virginia Funders Network to our second annual business meeting. I'd like to start today by celebrating and honoring Katie and Patty and Angie, who have toiled long and hard over the last several years to make VFN a reality. So I'd like just to pause and lift the LaCroix water, Katie, to you and your team, because y'all have done phenomenal and important work in a most difficult time. I am fortunate in my career to work with the esteemed Gladys Washington. And every time I'm with Gladys, I ask her how she's doing. And Gladys always tells me that she is present. Before we launch into what will be an important annual meeting for Katie and the VFN team, I'd like just to ask everyone to be present with yourself and to take a moment and reflect on the goodness that you and your teams have made possible over the last almost 3 years during a profoundly difficult time in our country and state's history. We are finite people, and everyone has myriad demands on their time and talent. And what each of you have done individually and collectively with your peers and your organizations should be celebrated and honored. So I just want to pause and ask folks to reflect on the goodness that you have created. I'd also like to use my last few moments as chair of Virginia Funders Network to celebrate Virginia philanthropy. Jill Coleman will remember me when I actually had dark hair. I've been in the field for about 33 years, and I was in a conversation with David Dotson earlier this week, and I said to David, never in my entire life have I been so honored to be with a group of leaders and peers who are exceptional in all that they do. I think Virginia philanthropy is just about as good as it gets. And I think sometimes we don't pause and recognize what we have made possible. Every time I think of Pat Matthews, I think of the amazing, deeply rooted report that she and Steve Wolf have done. When I think of Rashawn Roan, I think of the courage and conviction and clarity that she brings to her work. I give thanks to Dr. Penny and Christopher Cuevas at Laughing Gull Foundation for the investments they have made in the Commonwealth to support LGBTQ communities and people. I give a tremendous shout out to Mary Fondon and Clark Castile and Christy Connolly, who brought in over $30 million recently for Mackenzie Scott. And to Heather Peeler and Sari Raskin, kudos to you for bringing in money from the EITC Funders Network to support your work. IF, a Foundation for Radical Possibility, and RMHF brought in $1 million each to support racial justice and health equity in the Commonwealth. These are extraordinary investments from outside the Commonwealth that reflect the good work that is happening in the Commonwealth. I tip my hat, as always, to Carol Sale, Kelly Chopes, Aaron Hogan, Lynn Tadlock, and Amy Owen, powerful leaders who have made VFN possible and who have given us a vision for who we might be when we are 5 years old. To Dan Lehman, Scott Blackwell, you just show up all the time with such grace and thoughtfulness and make us better. So I'm going to stop now and turn it over to Katie, but I do want all of us to recognize we have a long way to go, but we have made impressive strides. And Katie's leadership and VFN is going to be a powerful catalyst for us to keep moving ahead. It's all you, Katie.
Thank you, Mark. Really appreciate that. Let me switch my screen here. We would not be where we are today without Mark's incredible leadership. Mark, it takes a lot of gumption to be the inaugural chair of a brand new organization. Thank you for always showing up with grace and compassion and support, unwavering support, not only for me and the VFN team, but for the entire board and all of our volunteer leaders. Thank you. We could not have done this work without you. I want to share three particular areas that we focused on this year, and the advisory board and I established as our priority areas in 2022, of course. The first is building a vision for the future of our new statewide association. We wanted to foster a vibrant philanthropic network across the Commonwealth. And we also wanted to ensure that we were laying a solid foundation so that VFN could be a strong and sustainable organization for many years to come. Throughout the year, we partnered with members, the Strategic Planning Committee, the Executive Committee, the Advisory Board to design VFN's first ever strategic framework. Shortly, you're going to hear about this comprehensive member-driven process and its exciting results from Jill Coleman, the chair of this year's Strategic Planning Committee. We're thrilled to have this roadmap for the future, and I'd like to thank the dozens of members who helped lead this work and to all of you for being active participants in the process for designing VFN's future. I just had the opportunity, thanks to Mark and Christy, to attend the Mission Investors Exchange National Conference. Nearly everyone I spoke with at this national convening agreed that Virginia philanthropy is having a real moment. We just heard from Mark a little bit about what's happening across the Commonwealth. I just wanted to reiterate the fact that funders across the Commonwealth are receiving major national investments for your work. 3 of our health legacy foundations received a total of $30 million from billionaire Mackenzie Scott. 2 of our funders have received major national investments from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. And just this week, VFN received an unsolicited grant and partnership proposal from a global funder looking to help communities across Virginia's Appalachia counties unlock federal broadband dollars. It's really exciting times. Throughout this year, the VFN team and I have had the opportunity to meet one-on-one with nearly 80% of you. We've loved getting to know you and learning about the incredible work that you're doing in your communities. You are centering hope and helping your communities see the possible. You're conducting research and field scans and community health needs assessments to help inform your giving strategies. You're supporting economic development and downtown revitalization, investing in small businesses, and growth of BIPOC entrepreneurship. You're working across sectors to address your community's housing needs. You're advocating for workforce housing solutions, supporting safe, affordable rental units, and encouraging paths to home ownership and other wealth building opportunities. You're investing in early care and education and working to address Virginia's staggering pandemic-related education losses. You're taking action to address Virginia's mental health crisis, investing in school-based mental health, and expanding the mental health workforce. It's very exciting times across Virginia's philanthropic community. Thank you for all the work that you're doing. So throughout the year, in an effort to continue fostering this incredibly vibrant network, the team and I have focused our work on growing the network to nearly 120 philanthropic institutions, representing nearly every type of funder all across the Commonwealth. We've hosted dozens of learning and networking opportunities to help you learn, connect, and collaborate with each other and with leaders across sectors. We've also worked with a small group of members to produce our 4th publication, a robust funding guide for grant makers interested in supporting broadband and digital equity efforts in Virginia. Stay tuned for 2 more publications the first half of next year, including a field scan on how funders across Virginia are investing in aging and healthy aging in older adults, and also a field scan of how your colleagues are using impact investing to amplify their impact. And then finally, in 2022, we continued our work of keeping you informed on what's happening across the field of philanthropy, across Virginia, and across the issue areas that philanthropy cares about through our highly praised newsletter, emails, blog posts, and social media accounts. In our first 2 years of existence, VFN has invested in our organizational growth and development, laying important groundwork for future success. This year, we welcomed our third full-time staff member, Angie Molina, VFN's Member Services Associate, soon to be our Member Services Manager. Congratulations, Angie. Thanks to the significant efforts of Kelly Chopis and the Governance Committee, who you're going to hear from shortly, VFN was well prepared for this first significant volunteer leadership that we'll be experiencing at the end of this year. And as we prepared for 2023, the final year of VFN, the Financial Sustainability Task Force, led by Kate Keller of the Harvest Foundation, has been exploring potential business models that will help ensure VFN is a strong, sustainable organization in 2024 and beyond. Taking an idea and turning it into reality. Oh, sorry. It takes guts and vision. VFN would not be where we are today without the leadership, tenacity, and hard work of our 17-member founding advisory board. This incredible group of leaders has built an organization from scratch. They've grown it to nearly 120 funders strong, and has set us up to tackle whatever the future may throw at us. I'd like to share just 2 of the many significant decisions that the advisory board made this year. The first, philanthropy serving organizations like VFN can play a variety of functions across the continuum of policy and advocacy activities. With this in mind, and after numerous thoughtful conversations, VFN's advisory board made the strategic decision that our new statewide association should learn our way into any policy or advocacy related work, starting with learning right alongside you, our members, shining a light on our members who are engaging in policy and advocacy activities, building relationships with elected officials, and defending the philanthropic sector in the event that that's necessary. Next year, as part of our regional funder gatherings, in addition to providing an opportunity for funders to learn and network together, we're also going to be offering an opportunity for funders to gather with their state delegates in a group setting, ultimately to build and enhance relationships and identify shared interests. So stay tuned for more information about that early next year. The second major decision that I want to share with you that the advisory board made this year, they really helped us think critically about our programming strategy and our programming goals. In our first 2 years, VFN hosted nearly 50 events for funders to network and learn with each other and with experts. And while this frequency and variety worked well during our startup phase, helping funders to get to know each other and helping us learn about what's happening across the Commonwealth, our new strategic framework gives us more focus and direction. As such, our programming strategy in 2023 will look a little bit different. Instead of quarterly networking gatherings, members will have the opportunity to come together for larger issue-style briefings. For example, in January, we're hosting our pre-General Assembly briefing. And then funders will have the chance to break out into smaller groups, what we're calling communities of practice, to unpack what you just learned alongside your fellow health funders, housing funders, community foundation colleagues, etc. During these small group breakouts, you'll have the chance to get to know your colleagues and explore what, if anything, you'd like to do together or in your own work as a result of what you just learned during the briefing. There'll still be plenty of opportunities throughout the year to explore particular funding priorities and giving trends. We'll host topic-specific breakouts at the conference. Save the date for May 2nd and 3rd in Roanoke. And we'll host a few topic-specific learning series throughout the year. Our first series will focus on aging and older adults. And we're also exploring potential learning series around, for example, early childhood, mental health, and workforce. More on all of that soon. As you can tell, VFN's second year was a fun and busy one. The team and I are having so much fun, and we're grateful to partner with all of you as we build our new statewide network of funders. Big thanks to all of our advisory board members, volunteer leaders, and funders who worked closely with us this year to make all of this a reality. We can't wait to work with you in 2023 and beyond. And now I'd like to turn it over to Jill Coleman, Vice President of Programs at the Cameron Foundation and the Chair of VFN's 2022 Strategic Planning Committee, who will share a little bit more about this process and its exciting results. Jill, over to you.
So I want to start by thanking that committee. As you can see, they're listed there: Claude, Marie Font, DeWitt, Sherry, Jessica, Rashawn, Courtney, Brett, and Stephanie. They provided an enormous amount of time in this strategic planning framework. And we were guided by the amazing Rosalind Allison Jacobs, who is a consultant that worked closely with us to get us where we are today. The importance of that committee cannot be understated, other than, just like Mark, I would like to just give you a little parable to tell you about the importance of collaboration and being with the right folks. There is a parable that says that there was a lump of clay, and the man passed by the lump of clay and he said, "Mr. Clay, you smell mighty fragrant today." And the lump of clay says, "That's because I've been hanging with the roses." The importance of collaboration cannot be understated. This group helped us, worked very hard, and guided us to what we think is a very vibrant, robust strategic plan that will guide this organization for years. I want to talk next about the methodology. We started with, Katie, you have the sharing, you go on to the next slide, the methodology. There was data gathering, and we started with a member survey, and we did really well. 74 organizations completed the member survey. We went on to focus groups, and 37 members participated in the focus groups, and then one-on-one interviews, and 13 members participated in those one-on-one interviews. So we really got a good group and representation of Virginia's fundraising funding foundation efforts through those three methods. And beyond those three methods that we mentioned, the focus groups, the interviews, and the survey, we wanted to benchmark our work and compare it to like organizations. And we did that by looking at the Maryland Philanthropy Network, North Carolina Network of Grant Makers, Philanthropy Southeast, Philanthropy West Virginia, and Washington Regional Association of Grant Makers. That was the next step in the benchmarking, phase 2 benchmarking process. The next phase is phase 3. Phase 3 was the testing. That included the Strategic Planning Committee and the VFN staff. We went to the folks, the members that were involved in the process throughout, and talked to them one-on-one about their feedback on the final document, the strategy that we had come up with, the framework that we had come up with. And one thing that I want to point out that's very important is that we did not ask that I talk with all the members that were involved, or that Katie talked with them. We had the members of the Strategic Planning Committee and staff that knew those folks talk with them one-on-one about their thoughts, so they could really be candid and express to the person they were talking to what they felt about the strategic planning process and the framework that final documented framework that we came up with. So we talked to 12 members who had been active throughout the strategic planning process. We talked to 6 executive committee members and 11 advisory board members. And so this was a very inclusive process, as you can see. And then we came finally to the findings. We had a robust plan that led us to these findings. And what we found were that the expectations of VFN include the opportunities to connect, learn, and collaborate with funding peers, a laser focus on issues specific to Virginia and relevant to Virginia's philanthropic community, and timely updates on state and federal policies and legislation, and the implication for philanthropy, and the issues philanthropy cares about. These were the things, and there's a couple of more, one more. These are the things that the members said are important to them. And we wanted to incorporate that into our strategic plan and to our thinking. And so the members were encouraged to revisit, the members encouraged VFN rather, to revisit its vision, mission, and values, the language, and to ensure it was aligned with the organization's purpose, culture, and strategic direction. So that was the overarching theme after we went through the survey, through the focus group, the interviews, and the testing, and then showing the final document. The overarching theme was this. And so now we're going to show a short video. And after the short video, we'll have Kelly Chopis, who is amazing in her own right, who knows how to hang with the roses. And she will talk to you more about our plans for this.
Virginia Funders Network was born from a belief in the power of collaboration. In 2017, a small group of foundation leaders came together to advance an idea.
Virginia's philanthropic community could reach an unprecedented level of effectiveness if funders work together and with leaders across sectors to tackle the Commonwealth's most pressing challenges and advance key opportunities.
Since then, the Virginia Funders Network has grown to include more than 115 philanthropic institutions, representing nearly every type of grant-making organization and every region across the Commonwealth.
As a result of many thoughtful conversations and deliberation by VFN's leadership, and with the ideas and input of more than 80% of VFN's member organizations, VFN is proud to unveil the newly revised vision, mission, values, and strategic framework that will drive our work over the next 3 years.
Our vision is that all Virginia communities are valued and thriving, are empowered and supported by a strong and vibrant philanthropic sector.
Our mission is to build a connected, collaborative, philanthropic community that advances opportunities for all who call Virginia home.
We are guided by our organizational values of community, inclusion, curiosity, and collaboration.
We value community, collegiality, and the transformative power of conversation. And we intentionally foster a connected, collaborative, and respectful community where members feel comfortable supporting, encouraging, inspiring, and challenging each other.
We unapologetically value the diversity of our membership, from personal demographics to geographic location, to organizational type, to philanthropic philosophy. We intentionally seek diverse perspectives to inform, drive, and lead our work.
We value the creativity and inquisitive spirit of philanthropic leaders and are dedicated to listening, learning, growing, and evolving.
We believe in the power of collaboration and are dedicated to working together and with cross-sector leaders to advance opportunities for all who call Virginia home, regardless of race, gender, age, ability, or geography.
Over the next 3 years, we will work together to build and strengthen diverse, connected, and trust-based networks of funders.
We will work to connect members to information and data that can inform effective philanthropic decision-making. We will encourage and foster philanthropic collaborations and build relationships with national funds, increased awareness to the needs and opportunities in Virginia.
We will represent institutional philanthropy in the Commonwealth, collaborate with cross-sector leaders, and advocate on behalf of philanthropy whenever necessary.
And we will also work to ensure that VFN is a strong, stable organization, ready to advance our mission and meet the challenges of the work for years to come. We look forward to partnering with you as we pursue these strategies. Together, we can ensure that every community across the Commonwealth is valued and thriving and is supported and empowered by a strong and vibrant philanthropic sector.
Hello, friends. I am Kelly Chopis, and I have had the honor over the last couple of years to be the governance chair for this fine organization. I'm going to take you through some of the work we've been doing and spotlight and highlight some of our members in doing so. First of all, I do want to thank a few people you see on screen who are leaving us after their terms of service have ended. And let me just call them out by name: Mary Donnan, Amy Owen, Carol Sale, Lynn Tadlock, and yes, you see me on there too. Congratulations, ladies. This has been an amazing ride. You have done amazing work for this organization and your legacy lives on. So I thank you, and I'd like you all to know that on behalf of the organization, we all know that we wouldn't be without this fine group of women. Next up, let's get to the real work of our committee. By the way, our committee is Dan Lehman, Amy Owen, Erin Hogan, and Christy Connolly. Each of these people has worked hard to create the infrastructure that you will see over the coming years for this organization. Over the summer, we wrote job descriptions for every volunteer position. We rewrote bylaws. We amended bylaws. We talked about the future in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. And we came up with our most significant leadership transition away from the founders. What you see in front of you is our advisory board. The nominations for advisory board first term are in front of you. We have Paulin Cheatham from Richmond, Kate Keller from Martinsville, Virginia, and Stephanie Randolph from Charlottesville, Virginia. I would like a motion for the membership to approve these nominations. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
How about a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Aye.
All right. I'm going to assume, unless anybody puts something in the chat, that these 3 talented professionals have been elected to their first term on the advisory board. Congrats. We've also nominated some of our colleagues who helped us launch and lift this organization for a second term, because we can't let them get away so easily. So those members are Scott Blackwell from Richmond, Jill Coleman from Petersburg, Virginia, Heather Peeler from Alexandria, and Sari Raskin from Oakton, Virginia. Let's just call that Northern Virginia. Do I have a motion to nominate these fine fellows for a second term?
So moved.
Excellent. How about a second?
So moved.
Excellent. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Again, I will assume any nays will come to me via the chat. Any discussion about this or the first term nominations? Excellent. Thank you very much. Congratulations to those new members and those continuing members. Part of the work of the governance committee was to also create a slate of officers. And what we did was recommend at the last executive committee meeting, the following organizations and professionals to head our organization. We did create 2 new positions. The immediate past chair position was voted on and approved by your executive committee, as well as a program and policy position separate from the VP or past our vice chair position. So you will see our executive committee here. Congratulations to Jill Coleman, who is our new chair, Clark Castile, our vice chair, Brett Rees, our secretary treasurer. You'll see Pat Matthews again as program and policy chair. Membership is Paulin Cheatham. Governance, Dan Lehman, and our fiscal sponsor continues to be Christy Connolly from the Path Foundation. Any discussion about this? Hearing nothing, I will say congratulations to this new executive committee, and thank you very much to all of you who served so well over the past year. We look forward to hearing more of your accomplishments across the Commonwealth.
Mark and Jill, would you like to close us out?
I'm going to be so brief and say one of the great things about having been chair is the opportunity to have someone so much better than me take the seat. Jill Coleman is a leader of just virtue and humor and thoughtfulness and courage and grace. And so, Jill, you will do a job much better than mine. And I am just grateful for so many years we've been able to be friends and colleagues together. So I turn it to you for the final comments.
Thank you, Mark, and don't believe a word he said. So it's a pleasure to be appointed the new chair. And I'm so thankful that many of you will be remaining and overlap with me and others in the years to come. Katie and Pat and Angelina, sorry. We, as a group, look forward to working with you as staff to move forward the strategic plan along with the other efforts of this great organization. It is a real pleasure for me, and I'm going to be looking to each and every one of you on this call and beyond the call to help guide this organization again. We're going to hang with the roses and make sure that the work gets done. Thank you and have a great day. Katie, you have anything you want to add?
Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Mark. Thanks to all of our founding advisory board members, and welcome to our new advisory board members. Everyone who joined us on today's call, we look forward to working with you as well as we implement our new strategic framework next year, and you'll be hearing lots more from us as the new year comes into play. Thank you. We had a great year, and we look forward to another one. Thanks, everyone.